Hey there, aspiring authors. I'm Wendy Melrose, founder and steward of In the Zone. And as a 7-time self published author, I now also help others with facilitating the process. And I wanted to be able to share with you how you can become a self published author yourself in just a few simple steps. And honestly, how you can do it in 60 days. So, and this is for the nonfiction world, when we're writing a nonfiction book, we want to take our audience from pain to promise. So, when we are working with our readers, we want to connect with those who identify with the pain that we've also been through. And by the way, if you already are in the pain and you are still in the pain, it's not time to write the book because you're going to cause more pain to the reader instead of bringing them from one step, which is pain, to the next step, which is promise, how you got through it and the steps that you got from here to here and how you can recommend others do the same. So when we're taking people through a journey, it gives them hope, it gives them inspiration, it helps them to believe that they can do it too. So, pain to promise. What is our reader struggling with? What is it that we've been through that we can help them through the process as well? And when we are working on the pain to promise, we want to also make sure that we're setting goals and staying consistent when we're creating the outline. So when we have already identified pain to promise, we're like, okay, so now what do I do with this? So one of my quickest ways to create an outline is to take that pain, the raw pain that makes people really feel deeply, and what is that promise, the excitement, the hope, the future that they might have when they get through this, and we put it into ChatGPT. And I prefer the paid version. It's better. And so you put that in there and you're like, okay, like I am this. And you could even share some of that story, share the pain and share the promise. And then the steps from A to Z. And you can say, I would like an outline for 10 chapters or 8 chapters. More chapters is not better. More words isn't better. If you can get to the point in less words, that is always better. So go put it into ChatGPT and then have it create the outline for you. And then while you're in the middle of the writing process, if you're like, well, because like today, it's November. Could you launch this in January 2025? You totally could. But you're going to need to back up the time, right? Okay, so like if we know that there is 8 weeks till January 1st, you know, in order to get the editing, the formatting, the cover design, and the launch onto Amazon or even printed books for you to give to your audience, you're going to need to divide that up. But if we say that we write 1,200 words a day or about 2 Google Doc pages a day, you should be able to be done with 10 chapters within a month. So that would give you a month for editing, formatting, cover design, boom, done, right? I know it sounds really simple, but it is that simple. I've written children's books where I've written, illustrated, and launched 2 books in 70 days. So it is possible to even do a nonfiction book. I have a client where she started with she had her outline ready to go on April 6th. We were done. She was done writing in 18 days. And then the rest of the process, books in hand, was 70 days later. So it is definitely possible for you as well. So you get them with the writing process and you're like, what do I do about editing? So there's a lot of ways to do self-editing. You can use Grammarly Pro, or lately I've been using ChatGPT 4.0 because it's faster than Grammarly. And you can tell it, please do not change the context of the book. Do not change the writing. I want you to just you don't even necessarily even say the word refine. I've used this to where take this chapter and check for punctuation and grammar only. And it does it. And the rest of the story stays intact. So it's not AI writing it. You wrote it from the inside of your heart. God wanted to write in and through you from pain to promise. And you're having Grammarly check your grammar and your punctuation. And let's just say you're not a very good writer. You're like, Wendy, I suck at writing. Okay. So write deep from the inside of your heart through the chapter outlines. let's just say you write in circles. Some people just have this way of saying things over and over again instead of really bringing the reader through the story. They almost kind of get wrapped up. The author almost gets wrapped up in the story itself. So you can put that into ChatGPT and say, this is my style of writing. And if you have other things that you've written, put it into ChatGPT and say, hello, this is my style of writing. Do you understand my style? And it will go through the different documents. Yes, I understand your style and your tone and how you write. Great. So can you please now create or refine these chapters and do one chapter at a time? It's way faster. Like this is this chapter, and put it in there and have it refine it. Go through each chapter. Then I have an author that I'm working with that said that she has like rearranged the different chapters so many times she's not sure which one should go first. So what I did is I took the PDF and put it into ChatGPT and said, this is the book. Please go through it. Should we change the order of the chapters? And it recommended we change just a few, not all of them. And it was very helpful. So then now we can go back and add depth if we need to, or any sort of clarifications that might need to happen in the book. So you've done your editing. And if you're like, I want to pay an editor, you can pay an editor. They're super expensive, sometimes anywhere from $2,000 to $4,000. And it's fine if that's in your budget and you want to do it that way. But those of us who are more on a tight budget, just go ahead and use AI as an ability to help you with your book. And if you get that back from ChatGPT and it changed something, but like, wait a minute, you changed some of this important part of my story. I want that added back in. And it will say, oh, I'm sorry, I will add that back in. And so just take control. Don't let AI bully you and everything will be fine. Formatting. So you can do this yourself or you can hire a formatter. So there's different types of books. There's print books and then there's eBooks. The formatting is different, but what I recommend is always doing the formatting for the paperback first. And you can use Atticus, you can use Vellum, you can use Scrivener, so to streamline the process. And when you are done formatting the book exactly how you want, then you want to turn it into an ebook, you can then use Kindle. There's actually a program here called Kindle Create that you'll want to download on a computer. It's free, and it can help make your PDF into a Kindle book. And then designing a cover. Obviously, we know first impressions is super important. And sometimes I'll see covers and be like, I did it myself. And I'm like, that's a little scary. Because it's one tone or there's no layers to it. So we want our cover to pop. And also, if you're putting your book on Amazon, you don't ever want your cover to be white because Amazon's background is white. So when it's in the list of books, it's going to like disappear but with the background. And so definitely let it pop. Even if you're doing like kind of a gray border, or not border as in lines, but almost kind of like a gray, just create like a little bit of haze around it as an absolute minimum. Just so that way when it's on Amazon, it doesn't lose itself in its white background. There's different ways, DIY tools. I typically use Canva, and you just want to make sure you're creating lots of layers, you're creating it pop, and it makes the covers more exciting. If you find it to be one-toned or flat, or the text, disappears in the background, just go look up like Google, or even have ChatGPT say like, what are the best, because ChatGPT is now like a search tool. It's super amazing. What are the best covers out there in this genre, and have it come up with some different ideas and look at your competitors. And then you're going to want to make sure that you can also hire a designer. It can be pretty expensive, anywhere from $500 to $5,000. Just depends on what your budget is. Next, you're ready to publish. So you can go to the Amazon KDP account and just Google Amazon KDP. It'll pop up. You're going to want to make sure you also have rich categories and keywords ready for your book. You can have ChatGPT help you with this as well to find out what your readers, your target market is searching for in Amazon, because that's how they're going to find your book. And just for clarity, like most of my writers and authors Their goal isn't to be super successful on Amazon. Their goal is to create big impact regardless of where that is. So if you're looking to do really well on Amazon as kind of an income source, then this program and what I do isn't for you. But I do know what an amazing program is. It's called Royalty Hero. And it's very, very good. And I'll put a link down below in the description where you can go there. And those authors, they end up writing books within particular categories that are doing really well on Amazon, regardless of genre. They're not writing something that is true to their heart on something that they've been through. So just for that clarification. Now you're gonna upload, once you've created your account, you're gonna follow the steps to upload your book onto Amazon, go through that different process. Then we're gonna work on marketing basics. So really, this kind of comes before you even start. You've got a launch team, build a group of family and friends and followers to help spread the word about your book. Your social media. So like if you're already a coach or a speaker, start letting your audience know that you've got a book coming and get them excited. And if you've got an email list, like start giving them little excitements or even little tidbits, or even in your blog or a podcast, like start telling people about it. And then when you've got your launch day and beyond, you're going to want to make a big announcement. You're going to want people to buy the book. If they want to buy the ebook for 99 cents on Amazon, if you put it on there, have them then do the review through, how you purchase the book on Amazon, go into previous purchases and review from there, because then it becomes what's called a verified review. The last thing you want is a bunch of unverified reviews, because if there's too many, Amazon could remove them. And so then that messes with the algorithm. And you always want people to leave honest reviews, because it will help build credibility and help serve future readers. So, all right. So obviously we've got the different steps. We've got planning, writing, editing, formatting, cover design, Amazon setup, marketing, launch. So I invite you to visit my website for more tips and support. You've got inthezone.live. I also have a community. So if this is a little bit overwhelming, I have a community where you can go through the process yourself. I have an accountability zone. And if you're wanting to write children's books, I do have a children community zone as well, where the course will help you walk through it. And I've got different experts to help you along the way. And so I really want to thank you. And I ask you to please like, subscribe, and comment on the video. And thanks again. Let's keep moving forward, and happy publishing.